Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. And on this episode, we're doing another market update, visiting business owners from across the country and likely in your town as well. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where professionals and entrepreneurs publish to grow their businesses and to leave a legacy. And we're celebrating the forthcoming release of Post-Pandemic Profits, where we've interviewed business owners from across the country to see how they've pivoted their businesses to thrive throughout this pandemic. So joining me on this particular segment here, we're talking to Kelly Sherrell. She's an independent agent with Legal Shield based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Kelly, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So Kelly, tell us a little bit about your business there with Legal Shield. What is it that you do and who are the folks that you help?
Oh, awesome. Well, that's a very easy one. We are a 48-year-old Fortune 500 company. So we basically protect and empower people to use the legal system to their advantage on a crowdfunding basis so that they don't get gouged for $300, $400, $500 an hour by an attorney that they may or may not know or trust. And we provide not only legal protection, but identity theft protection for the individual. We work in the employee benefit arena. As a matter of fact, it's one of the most sought after benefits on the voluntary side for large corporations as well as small businesses. We protect small business owners as well. So we are a full service company.
So Kelly, in light of this pandemic, what folks want to know, and the topic of this show is, how has the pandemic affected your particular business and your field of work, if at all?
Well, that too is a great question. So because we work from home, we were already very familiar with Zoom. And so all we did pivoting wise is we just, 10x our businesses, because instead of going out, like many people join Legal Shield on a part-time basis, and maybe they were furloughed or shut down, that sort of a thing. And so all we did was amp it up, doing every single thing that we do from Zoom, basically. So our company has actually grown 50% every single month since the pandemic. And we basically are just doing everything with Zoom, whether it's small businesses, even some of our enrollments. We're doing, the Zoom virtual enrollments. We're doing virtual presentations for individual team building. And we noticed that so many people now, of course, maybe wanted to work from home before, and now more than ever, they definitely want to work from home because of the school and the situation. So now they can stay home, make money, help people, and actually school their children and go about their daily routines on their own schedule. So it's actually been, I don't want to say this with any disrespect at all, but in every situation where there's a catastrophe, or in our case, a pandemic, some companies will lose and go away and lose money and disappear in some cases. But with ours, there's always companies that will grow because of the situation. So in our case, this time our company grew more in the last 6 months than we did in the prior 6 months before the pandemic. So, we definitely pray and are sad for the losses and sad that people have lost their positions and such, but we do, and we're there to offer an alternative to going back to work, in person. And some people decide to stay and work from home.
That's some really great insight. And I've experienced some of the byproduct myself. I do a lot of my interviews remotely with folks over Zoom and GoToWebinar and tools like that. And one of the byproducts lately is because people are, before the pandemic, they didn't know what Zoom was. It was very difficult for me to get guests on here like this. And it's getting easier and easier because everybody's so familiar with the tool because of their kids having to go on, do school over Zoom, for example. So I've noticed that as well. So tell me, your business has grown, which makes a lot of sense with a lot of people needing to work from home and trying to pivot their careers and sort of reinvent themselves, if you will. Mm-hmm. Besides the recruiting side, have there been any legal concerns, like a spike in any people wanting the service and the products as a result of this pandemic?
Absolutely. Because now we're dealing with the business aspect of it in regards to, some people are being laid off, some people have been treated unfairly, some people haven't gotten their money. I mean, we're having people, more and more people call us and saying, this is what happened to me. I need an attorney. I need some advice and consultation. What do I do? So yes, and I believe that going forward, more and more people, because of the climate and all the things that are going on in corporate America and in America in general, more and more people and even business owners, they don't know if the laws have changed, what the laws are. Maybe they're one way one day, but then they change them, and if they're not aware of it, they could end up in trouble with, handling a situation with a employee, or the virus, affecting people that they allow to come back to work, and did they do that too soon, or are they, are they abiding by the governor's laws for their particular state? Just having that insight and that law firm in their back pocket, because we do everything from an app on the phone. You dial your attorney, from the app and such. So it's a very easy transition just to pick up the phone and find out, what do I do? Did I do this right? What do I not know? And am I in the confounds of the law, whether it's a personal membership, or whether it's a business owner trying to hold on to his business and his employees. And then, of course, you have the HR concerns, as how do they deal with some of these clients that have come back to work, and maybe they tested positive, or you just don't know what the law state and what's the best thing to do. So being able to call a law firm, and even in an emergency situation, we have 24/7 emergency access, which, no matter who you are, I'm not sure if even Oprah's attorney would answer the phone at 2 in the morning, but we have that 24/7, legal access. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a call for, membership, because we make it so affordable. And I think we're the only company probably that downs, prices the plan instead of up. Like when you purchase something, sometimes you pay a lot more for it. With us, it's a plan that we basically, it's 25 bucks a month to have that attorney fee. So I mean, that attorney at your beck and call, so the fee is so low that they're not going to get charged, so why not call? So yeah, we've had 50% of growth in the membership arena, since the pandemic started. So we're well on our way to, reaching our goals.
That makes a lot of sense, because I imagine, as I see all around me, this pandemic's created a lot of legal challenges, and I can see, business owners and individuals having, different challenges with employment in that. So with that said, for folks that aren't familiar with Legal Shield and exactly how it works with the access that you're talking about, can you give a brief explanation of how the program helps folks?
Oh, absolutely. So the way our legal plan works is we basically cover 90% of everything that a regular person would need. Now, good things happen to bad people. I mean, bad things happen to good people. I mean, and well, I guess it could be either way. But I mean, just because you're a law-abiding citizen doesn't mean you wouldn't need an attorney. And we're not talking about being a criminal or anything like that. We basically offer advice and consultation and representation on the crowdfunding basis. And this is unlimited. Any kind of advice and consultation, whether it's pre-existing or not. Every time we sign up a member that joins the company, they are given a bank of hours, 60 hours every year going forward for the next 5 years. And it's broken up into trial and pre-trial. In case you're ever sued in a frivolous lawsuit, or you're audited, you have auditing hours, because I mean, I've never been audited, and I pray to God that I'm not, but I do know that, tax attorneys are very, very expensive, sometimes up to $1,000 an hour. We offer 24/7 emergency assistance if you're ever arrested, detained, questioned, CPS shows up on your doorstep, anything that's involving, law enforcement. And then think about, in America, the climate right now, what would happen if somebody's identity had been stolen? They're being accused of something. They get pulled over for a random traffic stop. Maybe it's a broken tail light, or their plates are expired or something, and their identity's been stolen. Or maybe just the climate is just not good. And, with all the tension and stuff, officers are scared, people can be scared. And then wouldn't it just be so great to be able to have that app on your phone to get your attorney right there to calm down the situation and maybe just put some light on it? In fact, many people, have died because of that. So, that 24/7 emergency assistance for me, if that's all we did with advice and consultation, would be worth, the price. But we also handle all the family matters. Relationships can be complicated. And so when you have a team of lawyers to work out the details, it just seems that it's always going to go better. I mean, if you ever have gone to court, even to fight a traffic ticket, you always know when you have an attorney, you go first and you get things taken care of. I mean, rich and famous people, they don't even sign birthday cards without their attorney looking at it. And if you think about it, we do document preparation. Uh, you're signing documents all the time, buying a car, buying a home. And I don't know about you, and I've done it before, bought a car. I just wanted that shiny object, and before you sign your name to anything, it's not so much what you're reading in the document. Do you have full understanding and what's left out of the document? And so, also traffic, any kind of traffic citations, stuff like that. We have an app on the phone. If you get a ticket, obviously you don't want to admit your guilt or whatever, but even if you were speeding, you were speeding, or if you weren't, you take that ticket, take a picture of it, send it over to the law firm. They call you within 4 hours to let you know what's going on. And as soon as they go to court for you, in most cases, I can't guarantee they always, it depends on the ticket, they go to court for you, they represent you, they get it dropped to a parking ticket with no points on the record, no increases in your insurance in most cases. Again, the IRS auditing is very important for those who, maybe they are network marketers or they're home-based businesses and their income is very high. There's a real good chance they're going to get audited, because many people don't even know how to do their taxes half the time. And there's a lot of additional benefits along with the membership. We have a 25% member discount, that if you have a situation that's pre-existing, or you've run out of trial hours, or anything that you need, like, we cover everything that somebody comes against you. But if you're trying to go against somebody, like sue them, we have contingency cases just like any attorney. But we have that 25% discount when you're going to need an attorney anyway. If it's a hairy divorce or a sticky bankruptcy situation, you need an attorney anyway. And the greatest thing about it is, not only do you get a 25% discount on the hourly rate, you also have accountable attorneys. If things don't work out, you have recourse to call about, because these attorneys are dedicated to our company. And we monitor all of the situations that happen. So there's always the accountability. And if anybody's ever used an attorney, sometimes they pay their money and they never see the person ever again. So they're required to follow our guidelines. And all of our attorneys, by the way, are AB rated, which is the highest rating that you can give to a law firm. So that's obviously not conclusive, full detail, but those are some of the highlights of our plans.
That's terrific. It sounds like a very smart, solution to legal problems like that. So before I ask you my last question, Kelly, tell me how you got started in Legal Shield. What inspired you?
Well, that's kind of a funny thing without throwing too many people under the bus. So the first couple that told me about it, who now live on their yacht in California, we had worked together before, and they had told me about it. And I just was negative. I wasn't interested. I was into other things. And, they didn't follow back up with me to see how I was doing and just say, hey, how's it going for you? And blah, blah, blah. They just kind of let me do, what I was doing. And so for many years, I fished around in the dark. I ended up, creating an LLC on my own, which I screwed it up. I was trying to get a will done. Oh, by the way, we actually do your will for free, both you and your spouse. And our plans do cover your family, all your children up to the age of 26 if they're still in school, never married, up to 21 if they're not in school, never married. But we do the wills for people. And I needed my will done because I have children. And it was very expensive. And I did not know about Legal Shield. And then another gentleman that I knew just was telling me things, but he never really told me, he never asked me questions like, do you have a will? Or, have you thought about incorporating? Or, have you ever get concerns about having a traffic ticket or whatever? And I'm like, no. But anyway, long story short, I just fished around in the dark and I didn't know anything about it, trying to handle, I sold, believe me when I tell you, I have used attorneys before during a, uh, uh, a divorce as well as child custody battle, where I spent about $30,000. I won, but I've spent more than $30,000 signing contracts on homes I bought and sold. I was a landlord. And I thought, how do I keep from getting screwed? I just seem to really make all the wrong decisions. So finally, when I was forced to look at it about 8 years ago, a little bit over 8 years ago, I literally was bribed with dinner to take a look at the program, and I felt like a fool. And so I was inspired so much. I wanted to have the service, of course, but I didn't think about doing the business because I just didn't think it was my cup of tea until they rolled out how, we get paid, and we get paid daily, and I can actually build residual income, which is something that I always wanted. And thank God for it, because during this pandemic, the residual income kept coming in. And I'm thinking, what would I have done if I didn't start this 8 years ago? And so it really saved our butts. It really, really did. And residual income, if people really understand it, they would break through a brick wall to get it. But that was what inspired me, is how I could build something now and have it for my future. Because I'm 64, even though I passed myself off as 40. I'm really 64 with kids and grandkids. And the fact that I can will this to my children and my grandchildren, I was like, I can build a legacy for when I'm not here. Now, my family lives to be 90 to 104 right now. My aunt is still alive at 104. And so I'm thinking, I'm going to run out of time before I run out of money. So I just wanted to, I'm going to run out of money before I run out of time, because I'm going to live so long that I'm going to need to have money for my future. So that was what really impressed me, was the ability to make that residual income and doing well by doing good for other people, because I love helping people. And when they come to me in tears going, I don't know what to do, I let them know I might can help you. So that's what inspired me.
Kelly, this is going to resonate with a lot of folks, especially today. So I want you to let the folks know you're speaking to two different types of folks out there. If somebody really could use legal help and would like the service and want more information, and for the other person that's looking for an opportunity, perhaps to reinvent themselves, and perhaps they want your advice and mentorship, how do those folks find you and get a hold of you?
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much for that opportunity. You can actually just, my website is K Sherrell, and just the letter K, and then my last name, SHERRELL dot we are legalshield.com. And my contact number is 702-493-4731. You can also find me on every social media site that's out there under my name, Kelly Sherrell. I'm on, from LinkedIn to Instagram to Facebook and everything else. So yeah, it's just ksherrill.wearelegalshield.com. And we also have a Ladies of Justice program, which is designed for women. So you can also find me at ksherrill.ladiesofjustice.com.
Kelly, this has been terrific. A lot of great information. I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing with my audience today. And I wish you continued success with Legal Shield for you and for all of your clients.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate you too. Thank you.
This segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com, celebrating the forthcoming release of Post-Pandemic Profits. That's all for now. Join me on my next Expert Spotlight. I'm Mark Imperial. Take care.